Hey friends, I'm in the basement getting ready for round 2 of my winter sowing. Last time we did it in milk jugs and I did all of my poppies. This week I'm going to go through and I'm going to make a list of all the things that I like to winter sow, and I will put that at the end of this video, vegetables and flowers. And then this week I'm going to move on from my poppies and I am going to do some of the perennials I'm having a hard time growing. And I'm going to do them in different containers than I did last time so that you understand that you can do this in any way with whatever you got lying around your house. So I'm going to start my new ones. I've got a couple 2-liter bottles that I rinsed out. I took the labels off. You take the tops off so they have ventilation, and you're going to do the same thing as the milk jugs. You're going to cut it around. I leave a little bit of room for a hinge. I'm going to put some drainage holes in the bottom, and then I'm going to fill it about this high with dirt, soil. And then once I get that, my seeds in there, I'm going to water it really good, and I'm going to throw it outside and let nature have its way with it. But I'm also going to try and experiment this year. And what I'm going to do is I have this muffin tin, and these are my echinacea that I planted week 1. Nothing's happening, and I had a subscriber tell me that they've always found their echinacea needs to be outside and needs to go through the cold. So these might not work in the house for me. They didn't last year. And I don't know all these things. I am just learning to garden every year like everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these into this muffin container. I poked holes on top and I poked holes in the bottom, and they're not working in my house. So rather than just dump them and call them a loss, I'm going to throw them outside in this container and see if they get cold stratified. That's what that process is called, cold stratification. A lot of perennial seeds will need that. They need that cold for the seed to be like, okay, it's winter, to know that when it gets warmer, it's time for them to go. So apparently this echinacea that I have right here, this particular one is called Paradiso Super Duper. This one needs cold stratification. I believe that that commenter is correct. So these are going to go outside in a muffin container. Same thing here. I'm going to do my Bells of Ireland outside. Now, Bells of Ireland I don't think need cold stratification, but I put them in here. They got a little algae. They're not coming up inside my house. At this point, I'm going to throw them outside. I've got a little tray I'm going to set them on. I got a dome. I'm going to put some holes in the dome. I'm going to put them like this. I mean, I'll stand that one up that just fell over. And then I'm going to seal it with a couple pieces of tape on each side, and I'm going to make a container out of this. That way, these plastic pieces get another life before I recycle them. And, yeah, and we maybe get some Bells of Ireland. Whereas if I don't put them outside, I'm definitely not getting Bells of Ireland. Oh, wait a second. I lied. Watch, look at that. Can you see them right here? All right, Bells of Ireland, staying inside. That was all a giant lie. I will. Look at that. I'm super excited about that. I will keep these. I'll do that for something else maybe that's not grown. So, container saved. Look at you, babies. Go. I get so excited when something sprouts and I don't think it's going to. That's very cool. It may die, but I got it to sprout. That is better than last year when I got none to sprout. So that's super exciting. So these can stay here. I'm going to go ahead and cut these ones up and get some soil in them, and I'll show you the seeds I'm going to plant in them, and then we'll go ahead and get these 3 out and take a peek at the ones I planted about a week and a half ago now and see what they're doing outside. Okay? Okay, quick tip. When you're going to put the holes in the bottom of these, I'm using an old steak knife. This is not the safest way, and probably nor the best way. I kind of have a system now where it works for me, but you can use a drill bit. That would work really good, or something a little bit sharper. I've seen people get metal, like screwdrivers, hot and melt the bottoms of them and put holes in them. There's a lot of different ways you can do that without potentially injuring yourself like I just did. Now, these 2 that I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the McKenna Mix Columbine, and I'm going to do Balloon Flower. These are both perennials that I've started inside. that are slow moving inside for me. I do have a couple seeds that have germinated, but not really well. So I am going to also do them in these containers, and then I'm going to compare and see what kind of germination I get. So any kind of perennial flower is a good candidate to put outside and winter sow. If it survives your climate in the winter, it is likely to do well in a container for winter sowing. So these are both perennials in my zone 6A. So I'm going to go ahead and sow some seeds in here and we'll see what we get. I'm going to water these in. I'm going to close them up. Oops, maybe. And I'm going to put them out with my other ones along with my echinacea that I got in this container, and we will see what happens. All right, now let's go outside and check out the ones I did before. Look it, it's wintering in Michigan. Let's go outside and check on my winter sown. Hey girls, you're all right. I fed them already. Do not let them fool you. Look at, my husband still likes to burn things in the winter. Michigan's weird. Here they are. Aren't they cute? This is literally how they're going to look. They're going to be frozen piles out here. Like I said, I've got them in a raised bed. They got a little protection. They're covered in snow. They get watered that way. Let's see if I can go around and open one. They stay nice and closed and warm. Look at, there's snow in the inside. Totally okay. They're going to be safe and protected out here until it is time for them to go ahead and germinate. And they know way better than I do when it's time. Nature handles this for me. So I've got 4 jugs out here. These are all my poppies. I'll add my other containers I did today, and we'll be well on our way. Maybe another week and a half. I'll start a couple more. Okay, as promised, these are the lists. I had someone ask me if I could give them lists of things that I maybe winter sow or things that would do well. So the first thing that I winter sow is flowers that are perennial in your zone. So I am in zone 6A in the middle of Michigan. And these are things that I can grow winter sown here. Echinacea balloon flower, columbines, coreopsis, hollyhocks are actually a biennial, but they do well. Canterbury bells, daisies, delphinium, lupin, sweet William, and any kind of milkweed or butterfly weed. Those are things that I have tried that have worked out and would be good candidates. Now, not everything comes up all the time. This is not foolproof. There's a lot of different variables, but these would be good things to try. Then I have winter sow flowers that are cold hardy. These are things that I would plant a little bit later in my winter sowing. So I will winter sow these. The poppies I can put out now because they can handle the cold, but calendula, marigold, dirt in my fingernails, calendula, marigold, viola, alyssum, bachelor buttons. Those are all things that can go out, but I don't need to worry about them right now if I don't want to. They don't need to get really cold, so they can go out. I'll probably put them out in February. But those are all ones that can handle being outside. And I think every single one of these except for violas I have done, and they've been successful. Here is something that's actually, this is like probably the biggest category of things you can winter sow is herbs. It's a great time to get some herbs going. Almost all of these herbs I have done. Thyme, oregano, sage, mint, cat grasses or cat mint, parsley, chamomile, salvias, hyssop, chive, cilantro, borage, and bee balm. I believe I've been successful in all of those at one time or another over the last couple years. So those all do well. And then last category would be winter sowing veggies. If you want to get your spring garden going, now this is not going to work in warmer climates. You're going to get too hot too fast. But in Michigan, the sooner I can get these plants going, the better. So I've got cold hardy greens like mustards, chard, tatsoi, kale, and spinach. Like spinach, I need to get that going as fast as possible because spinach will not make it much into my summer. Cabbage, kohlrabi, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower. These are all things that I can start outside. I am starting these all inside. I'll probably start just a couple outside to winter sow just to show the difference. I love to see the difference between starting something one way or another and see which way works best. So these are veggies that would all do really well outside. You could also start peas. Peas don't mind the cold, but peas don't like to be transplanted. So I wouldn't start peas unless you're just going to pop them somewhere else in a big cluster. Typically, I just direct seed my peas as soon as I can work the soil. Same thing with lettuces. You could, in theory, start lettuces kind of early, but I wait and just direct sow them when I can work my soil outside too. All right, I hope these lists help. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Please subscribe if you found this enjoyable so I can prove to my husband that this is a good use of my time. All right, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you later.